locker door sprang open, and I fell face first onto the floor, gasping frantically for air. Slowly, I realized that someone was kneeling over me. That someone was Lucas, and I called him my hero. Lucas just gave a cheeky smile, telling me that Sir Lucas was at my service. He helped me to my feet, letting me lean on his muscular body until my legs stopped shaking. I asked Lucas how he got the door open. Lucas told me that he's been telling the school that we need to replace these old lockers because anyone can open them if they know the trick. I smiled and told Lucas that I hate to disagree with him, but in this case, I'm glad the school didn't listen. Lucas admitted that he's actually glad they didn't take his advice now too. I gave a relieved laugh and told him that I got lucky on that one. Boy, did I ever. Even if I haven't been feeling that lucky lately. Lucas glanced at his watch and heaved a wary sigh. I asked him if he was late to something, remembering the conversation I heard with Mr. Cooper earlier. Lucas just said that he had a lot to do, as always. Then he asked me if I wanted to report the incident and told me that he could take me by the office if I like. I told Lucas that, as sweet as that was, I doubted it'd do me any good. But there's actually something else I needed to talk to him about, and it was much bigger than Jocelyn and Cody. Lucas asked if we could walk and talk because he's got some things he needs to take care of before he heads out. I nodded, and the two of us set off at a brisk pace. I told Lucas that it was about what happened at the pep rally. Lucas asked if it was about the blackout, and told me not to worry about it because he's already filed a report. Yeah, don't think a report's gonna take care of this one. He then said that he can't have the lights going out during the basketball game. Yeah, that's the issue here. I asked Lucas about the voice. Lucas froze and then insisted that he didn't know what I was talking about, but the way his eyes widened and his voice raised told me a different story. I tried to tell him, but Lucas told me to wait a sec. Before I could say another word, he ducked into the auditorium. Inside, Lucas waved to a group of band kids on the stage. He told them that they were sounding great, and to make sure that they're done in here by 3:45 because the drama club needs time to set up, which isn't really the issue here. So I told Lucas the real issue, that Mr. Red was back. Lucas asked about Mr. Red, if he was the same ghostly figure from when we were kids. He insisted that it was all just some make-believe game that me and Jane made up. As awful as it sounds, I really wish that was true, yet in my heart, I know that wasn't the case. So I asked Lucas if he was really sure about that. Lucas looked rattled, even more so when his phone in his pocket started buzzing. He insisted that he had to answer this and asked me to excuse him. Lucas slipped around me and out the side door. By the time I caught up, he was already in the middle of a phone call. Apparently, the call was with his mom, and he told her that he knows college prep is tonight, but they talked about this. He said that it was because he has to meet with the homecoming and yearbook committees after school, and he can't be in 3 places at once. Apparently, his mom didn't agree, yet Lucas didn't argue with her. He ended up telling her that he knows, and he loves her too. Gee, I wonder what that's like. But had I not been so scared of Mr. Red, I guess I would have felt jealous that his mom cared about him the way you couldn't care about me. I said to Lucas that he really is busy and that it wouldn't kill him to slow down for just a second. Lucas interrupted me and said that he's pretty sure the school would literally collapse. Lucas's phone buzzed again. He checked it and sighed. Lucas complained about how the school paper said they need an interview tomorrow. His words came faster and faster, growing louder as he started to pace back and forth. He started to scream about how it was impossible for him to be ready for an interview by tomorrow and how he can't even handle right now. I told Lucas to stop and breathe for a second. I put my hand on his shoulder, meeting his eyes, and told him to focus on me and take a deep breath in. I took a long, slow breath, motioning for Lucas to do the same. I watched Lucas as he copied me and smiled, telling him that was good and to back out nice and slow. Lucas let out a long, deep breath. We took a few more breaths until finally he smiled at me once again, causing my heart to skip a beat. I asked him if he was better. Lucas said that he felt a little better. I smiled and said that was good. and then started to talk about the interview. I suggested that maybe it'd be a little less stressful if I could help him prepare. That we could grab a coffee down the street and I could throw him some softball questions. I told Lucas that I've been meaning to catch up with him anyway, and it's a perfect excuse for me to ask all kinds of nosy stuff and talk to him about Mr. Red, but I kept that part quiet. Lucas looked at me shocked and told me that it'd be great and asked me if I'd really do that. I told Lucas that I would, but he has to promise to hear me out for 5 minutes when we're done. At first, Lucas seemed to hesitate as if weighing the pros and cons. Eventually, he decided that the pros outweighed the cons and said that it was a deal. Soon we were sipping warm coffee at the cozy cafe down the road. I put on my best ace reporter voice and mimicked writing in a notebook. I told Lucas that it was nice to meet him, and I'm Brandy, with the Westchester Word. Then I thanked him for sitting down with me. I told him that it was an honor to interview the class president Thomas. Lucas nervously said that it was a pleasure and that he's a big fan of my work. He guesses. I giggled and thanked him and then suggested that we start with an easy question to help our readers get to know him better. Hey, if I'm going to be the reporter, I might as well play the part, right? I told Lucas to tell me about a secret he never told anyone. Hey, why not get the awkward stuff out of the way? Lucas said that it's awfully personal for a back-to-school interview. I joked that the Westchester Word asks only the real, hard-hitting questions our 17 readers demand. Actually, I think I gave a generous number now that I think about it. Lucas gave a chuckle and thought for a moment. After a few minutes, he told me that he thought of something he never told anyone. Apparently, he actually hates giving speeches, and he finds them terrifying. I asked him if he was serious because he's given tons of speeches. I told Lucas that he's a great public speaker. Lucas admitted that he gets nervous every time. And then he told me to watch his hands next time he gives a speech because they shake like crazy. I laughed and told Lucas that he really had me fooled. Lucas smiled, saying that was really comforting to hear. I gave him a smile back and said that, moving right along, let's talk about the school year ahead. I asked Lucas what he was most looking forward to, wanting to give him a break after that last question. Trust me, he needs one. Lucas said that it was a good question and then claimed that this year what he's most looking forward to is homecoming. Gotta say, I was expecting him to say graduation or the next chess club meeting, but homecoming? I admitted that I actually found that very surprising. Lucas explained that this is the first year that the student council has an actual budget, so we can afford to hire a decent DJ. I playfully remarked that it sounds like a school dance is actually going to be cool for once. Lucas said that it was the hope. I told Lucas that, since we're on the subject, let's talk about the event on everyone's mind. I asked him about this year's homecoming and who he was going with, my heart pounding as I hoped that I would be the answer. Instead, Lucas admitted that he had no idea and asked if it was something we're supposed to be thinking about already. I just teased Lucas by telling him that I've got my eye on someone. Lucas teased me back, asking me if that was so. I said that it was, but I'm not sure if he'd be interested. Lucas suggested that I ask him and see, wondering if he was, hinting towards something. I just winked at him and said that maybe I would. I clicked my imaginary pen and closed my imaginary notebook, my heart fluttering. I told Lucas that I think that's everything I need for the interview and told him to look for it in the stands tomorrow. Lucas just gave a laugh but still thanked me because this mock interview helped him a lot, at least according to him. I told Lucas that I'd help him anytime, that I was glad to help and I meant every word. With everything that had happened, it felt nice to relax for a bit and joke around like a normal girl. One who wasn't part of a supernatural conspiracy that could get her and her friends killed. Something I, unfortunately, ended up bringing up as I finally told Lucas that there's something else I need to talk to him about. Lucas guessed that it was about what happened at the pep rally. I asked Lucas if he heard them, the whispers, the voice. Lucas scratched his arm uncomfortably, glancing around. Then he remarked that he doesn't need it getting around that the class president hears voices. But, hypothetically, suppose he did. What then? I told him that, hypothetically, a bunch of us are meeting by the fountain to talk about it. 6 p.m. sharp. I asked Lucas if he was in or if he was too busy. Lucas said that he's in. He owes me at least that much for helping him with the interview. I told Lucas it was great and asked him if I'd see him then. Lucas gave a nervous sigh and said that I would, but it didn't sound like he was happy about it. Sorry, Lucas, but we gotta conquer this. I don't think there's any other way. A few hours later, the sun sank behind the trees as I walked out of the school building. There was Noah, Lily, and Lucas waiting in silence. Andy arrived a minute later with Stacy trailing behind, texting busily. Stacy greeted us and told us to wait 1 sec. Andy asked how it was this dark already, because daylight savings time ended a while back. Noah stood up from his seat on the fountain. Lily moved to stand beside me, her hands twisting nervously together. Noah asked who we were missing. Lily pointed out that she doesn't see Ava. Ava spoke suddenly from behind me, making Lily jump. Then she remarked that we looked like the cover of a Christian rock album. Andy asked Ava if she was supposed to be a ninja. Ava said sarcastically that she's a vampire. Lily pointed out that she'd seen Ava out in the sun. Ava's sarcasm apparently clearly lost on her. Yet, instead of calling Lily out on her slowness, Ava just joked that she's a daywalker, and we should all fear her. I cleared my throat. I told everyone that, as fun as this is, we all know why we're here. The blackout, the pep rally, the wind, the voice. Stacy freaked out, insisting that she doesn't know what I'm talking about. I rolled my eyes, telling Stacy that I saw her face at the rally, that I saw all of their faces, and she and everyone else was just as freaked out as I was, because we all heard the exact same thing. Noah repeated those very words, "Everyone plays together." A chill ran down my spine, and a long, heavy pause filled the air as everyone refused to look at each other. Lily spoke up, saying that there was something else. She held out her phone with shaking hands. I asked Lily if those texts were from Dan. Lucas asked me if I got them too. Ava asked if we all got weird-ass texts from Dan last night. My fingers moved towards the bruises on my neck, aching at my very touch. I finally admitted that I had to tell them something. I summoned my courage and told them everything that happened to me last night. The text, the blackout, the creature that wore Dan's face. I said that I know it sounds crazy, but I think it was him. I think Mr. Red is back. Andy said that we have to call the cops right now so they could find that sicko who attacked me, and I interrupted Andy and asked him what to tell the cops exactly. That the ghost we played with as children is coming back to end us as teenagers? I pointed out that they'd have us all locked up in the nut house. Andy insisted that I didn't know that. I asked Ava if her dad believed her if she said that a nightmare monster was coming to kill us all. I know you guys would never believe me, assuming that you'd even look away from the TV long enough to listen. Ava said that her dad would make her pee in a cup and then search her room for drugs. Noah asked what cops were even going to do against Redfield. Arrest him? Andy backed down and said that he'll drop it. Noah remarked that maybe we could get the dirt monster to testify. Andy just got angrier and told Noah that he's dropping it already. Lucas told Noah to leave Andy alone, referring to Andy as her instead of him. Andy quickly corrected Lucas and said that him was the proper pronoun. Lucas got confused, turning to Andy to allow him to explain. Andy explained that Lucas said her when Andy is a him. Lucas apologized, and Andy said that it was fine. Andy shrugged, crossing his arms. He aimed a sharp kick at a pebble, sending it flying across the street. Ava said that, speaking of cop stuff, Dan's parents reported him missing this morning. Wait a minute, what? I turned to Ava in shock, demanding to know if what she said was true. Noah said that Dan's missing, and Ava was just telling us about this now? Ava insisted that she figured we would have heard. Stacy reminded Ava that not everyone's dad is the sheriff. I ended up telling everyone, once again, that Dan could be in trouble and we have to find him. Stacy insisted that Dan needed actual help from, adults and professionals. Professional adults. She's gotta be kidding me. I mean, what are professional adults even going to do? And despite Stacy's weird words, I insisted that it has to be us. Lucas asked me why that was precisely. So I told him the truth, that this was our fault. Stacy demanded to know how any of this is our fault. I rounded on her, turning to her in fury and reminding her that it's because we messed with something big and scary when we were kids. Something none of us could even begin to understand. Ava agreed, pointing out that now it's back to bite us in the ass. I smiled at Ava, calming down and telling everyone that I know that nobody wants to dredge this stuff back up, but it happened. We all remember Mr. Red, and we all saw what he did to Jane. We can't let him do the same thing to Dan. Stacy insisted that no one did anything to Jane. It was just a freak accident. A freak accident? Noah told Stacy that it's BS and she knows it. Stacy still wouldn't see our point. She said that all she knew was that we were a bunch of dumb kids who shouldn't have been playing in the woods by ourselves. Lucas told everyone to calm down for a second and just consider this. He said that everything that happened at the rally could be explained by some faulty wiring. God, he cannot be serious. All those voices in our head, those words, faulty wiring? So I asked Lucas to explain Dan, and he just asked me what exactly am I proposing to do. I told Lucas that it was obvious. We have to stop this. We have to go find Dan and figure out what he did so we can undo it. We have to go. Lily finished what I was dreading to say, into the woods, and no one was talking about the musical. The wind picked up. Leaves flew across the asphalt as Lily backed away, shaking her head. She panicked and insisted that she wasn't going back there, and believe me when I say that, I don't want to go back there either. Noah moved towards Lily, holding up his hands in a calming gesture. He told Lily that he knows she's scared, but we need this to stop. We have to. Before Noah could finish, Andy blocked his path, placing a gentle but firm hand on Noah's chest. Andy told Noah to back off and that Lily doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to. Noah asked Andy if he was serious right now. Somewhere, a heavy door slammed open. As one, my group tensed, like animals caught in a predator's stare. 3 cheerleaders rounded the corner of the gym, chatting happily as they passed. They vanished into the school and I started to breathe again. Never thought I'd be so happy to see cheerleaders in my life. Stacy told Noah that maybe he has time to go running around the woods chasing boogeymen, but some of them had real problems. Noah reminded Stacy that getting kidnapped by some shadow monster nightmare dude seems like a pretty real problem. I had to tell the truth. So I finally admitted that in order to stop Mr. Red, we need everyone's help. Stacy said that she's sorry, but she can't get involved in this. Noah rounded on Stacy and asked her if it was because it might mess up her standing with the popular kids. Stacy pointed out that if Dan's been kidnapped by some crazy guy, a bunch more of us stumbling around in the woods won't help. I asked Stacy, what if it wasn't some guy? What if there was actually something supernatural going on? Then what should we do? Lily answered for Stacy, saying that we should stay far, far away from it. Noah remarked that they were just going to close their eyes and pretend nothing's happening, just like they did when his sister died. A pang went into my heart as I remembered Jane. Her sweet, innocent, and scared face when I had insisted on meeting Mr. Red. Stacy rounded on Noah with guilt in her eyes, but Noah wasn't having it. He told Stacy that he's had enough of this. Redfield killed Jane right in front of us, and we're just shrugging it off like nothing happened. Andy told Noah that no one's shrugged off anything. I know I didn't. Noah said that the hell we didn't. Class president, cheerleader, basketball jock, we all seemed to be doing just fine. He said that the second Jane was in the ground, we were all happy to move on with our lives, and we're pulling the same stunt with Dan. Stacy remarked that now Noah cares about Dan, then asked Noah where he had been for the past year. Where was he when Dan got totally wasted at winter formal? Where was Noah when Dan was having breakdowns after every football game? Where the hell was Noah? Where were any of us? Andy insisted that he didn't know Dan was having that much trouble and asked why he didn't say anything. Stacey remarked that apparently when you're a big, strong football star, you're not allowed to have feelings. It's like the Malcolm in the Middle household. Andy said that we could have helped. He could have helped. I could have helped. I looked down on the ground in shame as Stacey told Andy that it's too late. Stacey turned away and stormed off without another word. Lily looked down at the ground, holding her textbooks in a shaking, white-knuckled grip. I called out to Lily, but she said that she was sorry. She can't go back there. She just can't. And I can't say that I blame her. Lily turned, hurrying back toward the school. Noah turned to Lucas with an accusing frown and asked him if he was going to bail too. Lucas said that even if he did believe all of this, he just doesn't have the time. Lucas turned and headed back toward the school. Noah yelled at them to just bury their heads in the sand, but this isn't going to stop. As he talked, flashbacks were running through my head, making me relive how I had caused the death of Jane, how I had put Dan into a coma. Now, here I am, asking my friends to die for me. I told Noah to leave them alone. Noah said that just a minute ago. I was telling them to face up and then demanded to know why I had changed my tune. I angrily told him to just drop it. I turned to Ava, who was cleaning her fingernails, and asked her if she was coming with us. She said that a creepy deep woods ghost hunt is emphatically her brand, so she's in. Andy said that he was in too. He didn't know about this ghost crap, but Dan's a good guy, and he needs us. Ava asked when we were going and if it was Friday. Noah insisted that we had to leave tonight. Ava said that she can't because her dad's got this really strict school night curfew, and wow, does that sound lame out loud. Andy said that he couldn't go tonight either because the team needs him at school early tomorrow for training. Ava remarked that she was sure about that because how would Team Dude Bro know they're having fun without some minorities around to exclude? Andy stiffened, ready to snap at Ava, and then wilted, grumbling. He admitted that she wasn't wrong, but he has to keep showing up and insisted that they can't ignore him forever. In spite of the situation, I couldn't help but admire how determined he was. Ava told Andy that she admires his optimism, voicing what I was thinking. I asked them if that was it. Were they both sure they couldn't come? Andy and Ava looked at each other doubtfully, and I can't help thinking that it was better this way. After all, the less people put themselves in danger, the better. Noah wasn't having it and told them that we're all going. I said that it wasn't fair to make them go, but Ava said that she will come with me and made it clear there was nothing I could say to change her mind. I sighed and ended up suggesting to Ava that if she wants to go, we could tell her dad that she's studying at my house, and since you guys are off on vacation, you can't shoot down my alibi. Not that you would if you were there. Ava said that it might actually work because her dad always liked me and he'd be thrilled to hear she's making normal friends. If they knew just how normal I was, they'd keep me away from Ava with a 10-foot pole. I turned to Andy and said that I know basketball is important to him, but this could be life or death. I told him that I know it's unfair for me to ask him to put his life on the line, but he's the strongest person here, and I'd feel a lot safer with him looking out for us. Andy said that when I put it that way, he's in. The basketball team might not appreciate him, but I sure do. Then I asked Noah. He said he was going in without a moment's hesitation. I told everyone that I've got to go grab my stuff so they can go on ahead, that we meet up in front of the hardware store. Noah asked me, then what? I told him that then we go save Dan. But they don't do shit!